Unaccounted for calories are the best thing to find on a diet. I've helped dozens of clients like this. They feel like they eat pretty well. In fact, they don't feel like they eat bad at all, but end up being quite frustrated at the plateaus that come with it. But when we search a little bit deeper, we tend to find other things. We find oils, snacking on nuts, taste testing food, just having a bite of this, and a bunch of other different varieties like this. But upon searching a little bit deeper, we can find some other things. We find liquid calories, hidden oils, snacking on nuts, aioli sauces, just the occasional taste test, these kind of things, and they can start to add up and have a real term effect on your plan. As you get leaner or you're in a caloric deficit phase, these things start to become more real. The psychology of these things change. Even for myself, years back, I remember being in a situation of being in a caloric deficit, and you might be able to relate to this. And the further you went along, or the further I went along in this context, I would just gradually just want to have just a little try of something, a little bite. Part of it was me not knowing when the end of the cup was going to happen. Part of me was just, again, being more food focused. But I'd constantly just nibble at just a bit of peanut butter or hazelnut spread / Nutella kind of thing. And it ended up being just enough food where either it would affect my results for the week or I had to cut back from other food in the diet. When people find these things, they can feel shame. But instead, as a coach, I tend to look at things a bit differently. When you do find these little bits and pieces of calories that people are introducing throughout the day, it means to get the same level of results, you don't need to cut back into the main meals, the true satiating, enjoyable meals. They can stay higher. You find that, again, the limitation towards your fat loss might be solved just by getting rid of those. And the other thing which is really nice is when you're aware of these things, you start to be able to make the correct decisions on trade-offs. So for example, the unaware munching on 500 calories a day of just a little bit here versus a little bit there might feel like it's okay, but when you would put it in context of, well, would I prefer another 500 calorie meal or to bulk up some of the other meals with 250 calories each, suddenly doesn't sound as appealing. So suddenly getting that right can allow more flexibility to the other parts while still getting results. This isn't something to feel shame over. In fact, I honestly view it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to track the little bits and pieces that might be getting in the way of results, that are doing your head in more anyway than the lack of actual tracking itself. It's the opportunity to be aware so you can be more present and enjoy your food, and the ability to just take off the limitations towards your fat loss. Not everything deserves a new diet. In fact, awareness can take care of many of the positive effects for you. Trust me on this, the pain of not finding these things is a lot less painful than the feeling of not getting results, even though you're pushing really hard in all the other variables. So many people end up in this situation where they're pushing everything to a 90% degree or above, but are just limited just by a few things, enough where it affects the fat loss. Honestly, the stress of that, the mental energy you're already putting towards the 90% to be sacrificed these small little 10% things, it's easier to solve them and get rid of them and actually have more enjoyable days and foods and progress. This way the handbrakes are off. We suddenly realize we don't need a new plan, but we've got to starve ourselves more. So I will leave you with this final thought. Small leaks sink ships. So if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.